You're listening to Combat Radio with Ethan Dettenmeyer, right here on LA Talk Radio.
Yeah, I just had to interrupt a good conversation because the music ended and
Again.
we forgot we had a show to do.
The show interrupts the conversation.
I know. What's up
again.
with this damn show? Can we just have a conversation without having to do one fucking radio show, please? Can we just talk amongst ourselves without having to be told to go into this studio and do a show just one time? I'd like to just have a conversation without having the radio show interrupted.
And play dominoes.
And play dominoes.
Dominoes.
Yeah, Tom, I don't know how to play dominoes.
Dominoes by Van Morrison.
Yes.
I love that show.
Nick Sands is joining us. Let's go around the room, of course, back from his covert mission on the convention front, if you will. Is,
Lexington, Kentucky, baby.
Yes, the paradise of conventions.
It was great, actually. It was very good.
Can I introduce you before you tell me about all the money you made on the convention and how fans loved you? And how you're probably making money on the Combat Radio dime, and we don't see any of it.
Hey, I'm finding a way to do it. There's got to be a way.
Well, you know this guy is the big robot in transgender. What is it?
Hey?
Transformers.
There
Bumblebee
you go,
and Transformers.
there you
And
go.
I think you've been
Electrical-
contacted for Transformers 4, so round of applause.
All right.
I'm running for money. I'm not proud.
Yes, and I'll say the same thing I say about all those movies. They're terrible, but are they hiring?
Well,
Can I get in one?
You know what? Michael did a thing before we go. Michael wrote a thing about the Oscars because I absolutely agree with him. I don't understand how they didn't get an Oscar for either sound or for special effects.
Well, what did they lose to, first of all?
Hugo and what was the other one that they lost to? I can't remember now, but they were up for 4 Oscars. Sound, of obviously which my pals are, that I work with a lot on the set, should have got an Oscar for that, but also just the visual effects blows everything else away. I know Hugo was good, and
I have to see all the nominations. I'm so disenchanted with this Academy Awards type thing now. I have so little interest. Are they still doing 10 nominations for Best Picture in a time when they really only make 1 or 2 decent movies a year?
It appears that any commercial film that makes money, is never going to get an Oscar. And I don't mean that to be down on the other films. I'm just going...
As soon as they cut the time and decided that the biggest night in the industry had to be limited to 2 hours, that's when I started to tune out. And then when they started making people on the technical front not receive their Oscars during the broadcast, but in advance, that was another blow. And then we had other people who were deemed less important but still major contributors to the art of filmmaking receive their Oscars at podiums in the back of the auditorium of the Kodak Theater so they could just do the 360 with the camera and have them quickly shoot, get them to the press and back in their seat. That's when I was just like, fuck this. This is such a joke. And also, I remember working in Milius's office, right, who wrote Apocalypse Now, director of Conan, and I'll keep this short. And I remember his assistant goes, hey, John, your Academy ballot's here. Can I show my mom? She's never seen one. And John Milius is eating lunch. She's like, yeah. In fact, tell her if she likes any movie to just go ahead and fill it in. And that's when I'm like, fuck this Academy Award process. It's nonsense. Let's go back around the room and then we'll bash the Academy a little bit more.
Wait. You can't do that. Boom, boom. Wait a minute. Boom, boom, boom.
I mean, it's terrible. It's just a terrible. It was always an industry-driven PR evening. We all got that from day one. I know it's all dressed up as this big ceremony, but I always liked it as a kid. I loved seeing the prestige of it, the elements of it, but now I'm just kind of like, look at this commercial schlock they're flinging at us. 10 nominees for Best Picture now when we can't even really get it cobbled together 2 decent movies as an entire industry. It's offensive. It's just... I'm sorry.
There were great movies this year. It was a great year for film.
Movies, yes, maybe.
And I think, first of all, that yes, of course, people are going to be disappointed. Just like what did Meryl Streep say? There's a bunch of people at home going, not her. I don't
have a problem with that.
And I think it's the thing. And for me, what did I think the best film of the year was Moneyball. And who did I think gave a great performance as an actor? Brad Pitt. Mm-hmm. Sure, it wasn't, it wasn't the guy in the...
There wasn't one goddamn Hobbit in that entire movie, Zack.
Right, exactly. Nobody blew up, but it was a great film. It was a great story. And it's all about storytelling. And I'm glad that they have an evening where they celebrate that.
Yeah.
Is it political?
No. You're misinterpreting. I love the fact that we had the Academy Awards and what they once were. But it's kind of been shilled out where now everyone's got 30 minutes to thank everyone who contributed to getting them to that point.
30 seconds.
30 seconds, exactly. See, I even made it sound better than it actually is. But don't you feel that we're just, you're right, there were some great movies this year. This was a better year than in years past.
This is when they go back and they look at this year in film, it will be a spectacular year. And let me just say, Hugo is brilliant.
Yeah, it is. It's good.
Hugo is brilliant. And yes, we have our own, the SAG actors, we have our own awards. Well, let me just say that they had stunts. They gave out stunts this year, and I saw all the movies, but all of these movies that they were giving stunts for were all green screen movies. Everything was CGI. The movie that I thought the greatest stunt was Fast and Furious 5. They would never nominate that film, but those two guys, that flying off the bridge with the car and the train and the stealing cars. It was brilliant stunts. Brilliant.
Well, I got to tell you, Dar Robinson's rolling in his grave, because it used to be if you needed a guy blown off a balcony on the 40th floor, he would show up and you'd blow him right off the balcony.
I met him.
Unreal guy.
Wow, what a nice guy.
Yeah, dude, an icon.
In Dark of the Moon, they had the wingsuit guys actually jumped off the Sears Tower.
And they didn't get nominated for the stunt award.
Wingsuited, literally, there's a great shot with the guy with a camera on his head, actually wingsuiting through Chicago, through the building, but not just one guy, an entire team of guys.
Let's take a minute
That's
to...
not CGI, they really did it.
Let's take a minute and do some introductions here real quick.
Yeah, that was a great scene.
That's actually Adam Carroll, Adam Baum.
Adam Baum. Hello, what's happening?
And real quick, before we introduce our other... Here's producer Loda Hadley showing up. Hello. Producer Hadley, how are you?
Hey.
How are you? Yeah, take it. Take the money. We could use it. And then with us, our intrepid guest, a Combat Radio semi-regular. Wish we had him around here more. Most of you, he's a genius. Let's put it that way. Mr. Zack Hoffman, who's, I think, best known to some of you listening today as Zartan from G.I. Joe.
Okay, so let's get this out of the way. Hello, my little dreadnoks.
Yes, there he is.
Yes. You hear that, my brothers? You hear that? Zartan is in the house. Zartan is in the house. Cobra's gonna win it.
You so happy?
Yeah.
Oh man,
I'm
like a kid in a candy store right now. I'm sitting next to Zartan.
Adam will be singing Clothes Slither very soon.
Yeah, buddy.
Adam just made me think that Zartan could have brokered a piece quicker between the Bloods and the Crips. If,
you know what I mean?
Oh
man, it was great. I'm ecstatic. I've never been ecstatic like this. Unless I'm getting on stage, but I'm ecstatic right now. This is great.
Yeah, you met Zartan, and he looks just like Zartan in the cartoon. That's what's amazing.
Yeah, I do. I feel like I'm 9 years old right now. I really do.
There you go. See, the show's over. Now we can't. We're done. We're done.
Yes, it was great.
No, we have a lot of respect for. He just made the point. We were talking a little bit about Dar Robinson. If you know anything, he was the man. He made that movie with Burt Reynolds.
Sharky's Machine.
Was it? Yes. Yeah, but he also did Stick with him, where I think he played pretty much himself. Not himself, but he was one of the villains.
Right.
And he does do a balcony fall.
Yes.
But I mean, everyone always, I guess if you were in cinema in the 70s and 80s, that was the guy. He's no longer with us. But,
he was the guy.
And he just talk about a guy with a great look to play bad guys, and I hate to typecast him, and the Albino Society of America is going to go nuts on me probably, but he had a great, incredible look for cinema, and he was just bulletproof. That guy, talk about bravery. Do you agree?
Absolutely. He was the stunt of him going out that window at Sharky's Machine, where he was. Yeah. It's just
that made the whole movie.
Yeah.
That made the whole movie.
Yeah.
Sharky's Machine.
Who was the villain in that? And I'm trying to remember his name. And I want to say,
he was one of the Rat Pack.
It wasn't Richard Conte, was it?
No, it wasn't Richard Conte, but it was the other guy, the younger guy who is still with us. Now that I need the name, I can't think of the name. Who was the villain in Sharky's Machine? Anybody?
Somebody call in. We're going to be at this now for an hour.
Yeah, now I'm totally vexed by it. We can have no show until we figure out who the damn villain was in fucking Sharky's Machine.
Participation. Come on now.
Who is that guy?
I can't remember.
He's in Ocean's 11. Yeah, well.
It'll come.
But no, it's funny because he played... Oh, Silva.
Silva.
There you go. All right, give me a few minutes and
ding,
coffee
ding,
showed
ding,
up
ding.
and all of a sudden I can actually start getting some things straight. But that was a good movie. That's one of the better ones. So you embrace Hugo as being one of the...
What a film.
Yeah.
First of all, there were two films in 3D this year that they actually used the technology Hugo was one because the opening of that movie was like a ride. And the other one, and I don't know if anybody has seen this, but it's Pina in 3D.
What is it?
Pina, P-I-N-A.
No,
Pina.
You have to see this movie.
Pass that, will you?
It's at the Grauman's.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, it's at the Grauman's, and it is spectacular. It's about a German dance troupe, and she's been teaching. She was teaching for, I think, 50 years, and they were trying to make this movie. She passed away, and the dance troupe told the director, "We're still going to make this movie."
And we need to do it in 3D.
And well, that was the director found. He said, this is the medium that can show dance. And he was so right. It is spectacular.
You're listening to Combat Radio with Ethan Dettenmeyer. Right here on LA Talk Radio.